Good day, guys. Welcome back to this channel. So, if you are new and you've not subscribed, make sure you click on that subscribe button. Make sure you like and also make your comments. I want to watch out for it. So, what we have here is Nasdaq 100. Would want to know where this price would be moving for the next day, which is 19, which is on Monday, right? So before we actually get started, let's take a look at do quick analysis on this our weekly time frame. Notice that this price will be based on the technical aspects only. We all know what happened, last week with the fundamental, during the CPI, the new CPI news that was released last week. We also our price fell, and also that's right. We all know that this fundamental tends to um, show on the technical aspects. So this is one of the reasons, because we are trying to predict price for the next day, not for the week. Assume we are trying to predict price for the week, we are trying to predict price for a month, right? Then we would want to take a look at the news or the fundamental aspects, but we would want to see where this price will be moving for the next day, which is on Monday. So we are going to use the technical only. We would use the technical aspects only. Now, this is it. Let's start with the weekly time frame on Nasdaq 100. So you clearly can see that this is one movement that we are making, which is a bearish move on Nasdaq 100. You can clearly see a lower lows and a lower highs. But prior to that, we also see that this price was giving us a bullish move. I mean, let's start it from this 2020. You see that around this 2020, we were having a bullish move, till early 2022. The price started changing its movement. So as at this movement now, this is a bearish move that Nasdaq 100 is giving us, right? You can see a lower lows and a lower highs. That is one. Secondly, is that I've added moving average, which we would be using 10 period moving average. Now, those of you that know how to trade this, we do a recap. Is that once this price is below our moving average, it is trading below this moving average. Then there's only one movement you should watch out for, right? Sell, right? We have to go ahead to sell on this Nasdaq 100. It is a bearish move. We can clearly see that this is below our moving average. But before that, we can see that it was trading above our moving average. One of the reasons why we were going bullish, we actually went long. But as at now, it is trading below our moving average. So this is a sell. Now take a look at this movement. I want you all to watch out for. So you take a look at this as a drop, and here will be considered to be a pullback, and here would be a drop, and then here would be considered as a pullback. You can see a new lows, and here will be considered as a pullback. And guess what we've got in the game? You can see a new lows. You will notice that this new lows actually broke this previous lows, and this will be seen as a pullback. Now that this is the pullback, what do we expect next? We expect another lows. So throughout this week, right? This week, this for the weekly aspect of it, we would want to see this Nasdaq 100 give us a bearish move. We also should expect it to actually open and close bearish. So Nasdaq 100, right, on the weekly time frame aspect of it, we are going bearish. Now see this price currently, we are trading below our moving average, which is 10 period moving average on the weekly time frame, right? As long as we are still trading below it, then we are still to go bearish. So this week that just finished, we see that price gave us a bearish move. We opened and closed bearish. At first, price gave, went up. This is one of the reasons why you are seeing this huge candlestick wick here. The upper one price open and close bearish. So above all, this Nasdaq 100, a bearish move for the weekly aspect or the weekly time frame is not yet over. So we expect small bearish move to be made. So this is one of the reasons why we should keep an eye for the next day, which we very much likely to have a bearish move for the next day. Now that should take us to the daily time frame. Like I said, let's try and analyze this trade. If you see the foot trend, you see that clearly this is a bearish move. Now let's take a look at the recent movements that was made, right? You can take a look at this on the weekly time frame. This is considered as a drop, and here would be as a pullback, right? Then after that, we'll be expecting a drop, right? That is it, what we'll be expecting. But when you take a look at this moving average that we want to see to guide us, we can see that we are trading below the moving average. And I do tell you guys that once we are trading below this moving average, then there's only one movement you should watch out for, which is to sell. Go ahead and short the position. So we clearly can see that this is trading below this moving average. Now, before that, You see that price has once range within this level here, and price has once range. Let's start with this range. Let's start with this range market move and why we actually range it before we need to analyze it properly. You see that this level that I've highlighted there, we will take it as our resistance level, and this level that is here, we will take it as our support level on the daily time frame. You see that once price was at this resistance level, right, we add a drop to our support level, then price give us a movement to our resistance level, and guess what again? It came to our support level. Now you know that once price is ranging between support and resistance level, and price breaks out of a resistance level or price breaks out of a support level, we tend to see a pullback that will be made to test that resistance level or support level price broke out from. So this is it now. Price came to our resistance level. Guess what it made? What we had? We saw price actually broke out of our resistance level. After it broke out of our resistance level, we saw a pullback that was made to test this resistance level. Now we can see that this price has tested this resistance level, which is a legitimate level. Now, if you take a look at it, price came up to this highs it once got to previously, right? This is it here, which means this is now our new resistance and this is now our new support level. Notice that this was previously a resistance level here. Previously, it was a resistance level, but as at now, you can see it is now a support level. The price is now giving us a new range market move. You can clearly see that price came again to this support level, right? Then again to this resistance level. Price kind of range here. Then we saw price actually drops further down, and guess what? It broke below our support level. Now that is still to tell. That is now to tell that this resistance level and support we are seeing here is now out of the game. So the next level we would want to take a look at is this resistance and support level. So for this week, right, we would still expect a further drop on our NASDAQ 100. Now, if you take a look at this moment, price has broken out of this previous support level. You know, I do tell you guys that once price break out of a resistance level or it breaks out of a support level, price must definitely give us a pullback to test that same level. So you can clearly see that this price have break out of this support level, then we should be watching for a pullback. We should watch out for a pullback that should come to take this resistance level. Once this price can give us a pullback to test this previous support level, right? Then we should continue our bearish move. So with the price be are we going to have that bullish move or a pullback to hit this level where it is something we can't really predict? It's either we have it on Monday or we have that movement on Tuesday. Just watch out for a pullback that will be made soon. It's either we have it the next day, which is on Monday. A pullback would be made, which will give us a bullish move to test the support level before we continue our bearish move, or we see it drop further down. Then on Tuesday, then price will give us that bullish move, which will serve as a pullback to test this support level before we continue that bearish move. Above all, we would be expecting a pullback on this Nasdaq 100 before we continue our bearish move. Now, if you take a look at this moving average, you can see that this price currently is below the moving average. That is to tell you that this price is trading below our moving average. So we are still on a bearish move. Anyhow you want to take this trade, you should look for a way to actually go ahead and sell on this Nasdaq 100. You should look for a way to sell and short on this Nasdaq 100. As long as we are trading below this moving average, then definitely we have to sell on it. So that is what we should be expecting. Is either we should kind of like expect a pullback soon. Either it happens on Monday or on Tuesday, a pullback would be made, which will be bullish before we continue our bearish move downward. Now let's see what this 4 hour time frame sees. So we can clearly see the 4 hour time frame. You can see the trend, which is a downward movement, right? So you can see something like this as a downward, and here happens to be a correction, then a new lows, and here is a correction, and a new lows has been made here. So we should see this as a correction, right? Once the correction is over, let's see if this Nasdaq 100 will continue the bearish move. So we would want to watch out for a continuous bearish move for the next day. And if it goes bullish to tap out the level that we are talking about, then fine. But for this 4 hour time frame, we are still on a bearish move, and let's see if we would continue the bearish move. And you can still see it that it is still trading below this moving average. So as long as it is still trading below this 10 period moving average, then we are to still go ahead to sell on the NASDAQ 100 for the day.